Hello, friends. Today is the beginning of Lent. It is Ash Wednesday. I lived in Utah in 2002. You might recall that Salt Lake City had invited the world to town that year for the Olympics. When the world showed up, it turned Salt Lake into an unlikely party town. For 2 weeks, there were celebrations every night in the middle of the downtown streets until the early hours of every morning when most Salt Lakers were still asleep. I remember the mayor saying that he would like that party attitude to continue when the world had gone home and we were back to being Salt Lake again. As fun as those Olympics were, those of us who lived there then knew that time of feasting was a unique moment and would be short-lived. After all, feasting all the time isn't good for anyone. One can only feast for so long. Today, Ash Wednesday, we are called not to remember our fun side, our feasting side, but our dark side, our fasting side. The dark side we share with every other human who has walked this earth and will walk this earth after us. The dark side which we sometimes hide from ourselves and sometimes delight in sharing with others. But we're not called to constantly focus on our faults, our weaknesses, our choices to neglect God in our lives. We're not called to live our entire lives in darkness and self-denial. Just as we can only feast for so long, we can only fast for so long. Each of us journeys on a path which takes us through valleys and mountains, through days of feasting and fasting, through times of darkness and light. Today, and for the 40 days of Lent, we are invited to stop wherever we are on that path and focus on the difficulty of the journey, our need for salvation, and the overwhelming mercy of God through the cross of Christ. I ask you now to please take your thumb, close your eyes, and trace the sign of the cross with your thumb upon your forehead. This is the place that we impose ashes on Ash Wednesday. And it's the same sign of the cross with which you're marked at your baptism, the same sign with which you're anointed with oil when you're ill, the same sign of the cross with which you will be marked at the time of your death. This mark, this cross, this reminder of God's overwhelming love for you never, ever leaves you. When you despair, when you are overcome with anxiety about your life or our country or the world, trace that cross and remember that God created you, remains with you, and will bring you home. May the cross that we bear in ash today remind us of God's never-ending mercy. Thanks be to God. Amen. God bless you all.